So I've asked this quite a few times to a few emails. What is the difference between the Supreme 12 or Supreme Black Ambulite Rejection 12s and the new, which is going to be coming out very soon, our Black Nova 17, or it's called the Advanced Ambulite Rejection Black Nova 17. I'm sorry, I butchered the daylight out of the name. Advanced Ambulite Rejection 17 Black Nova. Whew, butchered my own name that fast. All right, so anyway, this is the difference between the two side by side. As I told you before, that the Black Novas were darker than 12s, much darker than 12s. So the difference is 12s can produce a slightly higher white level next to, because like I said, the screen is much darker. But when it comes to contrast levels, which these screens are designed for extremely heavy contrast levels, for colors to pop higher, this is where the this technology actually shines through. So we are going to be making some changes in the shopping cart, and right now I got the projector with a rag over the top of it so you can see the difference between the two screens. Today, everything is going to be done for documentation. It'll be very little talking, which you'll probably be happy for that one. If you choose to come in and watch, it's up to you. If you don't, you can watch later on. This is all done for test today for the technology so it can earn its label. That's it. So I got the ultra short throw sample sheets, multiple projectors set up downstairs. We'll start off with this one first, and the difference, because I get this a lot and people ask me what is the difference between the two black screens. As I said before, the screen is much darker than a 12, and as you can see, it is. It literally matches the borders that are actually around the 12 right now. That's how dark the screen is. All right, so let's begin. Now we're going to be showing multiple colors and so forth. Contrast levels, which is more important because, like I said, these screens are designed for heavy contrast levels. For those of you who do come into the channel and gripe about how you don't like black screens, again, we design everything. I'm gonna stop saying that from now on. If you gripe, just don't buy. All right, let's move on. All right, so we're gonna come out of this menu real quick. I'm gonna start off first with colors. Let me go over, I should do the star field demonstration. Yeah, we'll do the star field. There you go. You know, at the end of the day, you know, people sit there, when I design this stuff, you know, people sit there and say, oh, it's all the same. And it's not the same. When God gives me technology to develop stuff, trust me, there's going to be a huge difference in between the two. I told you, it's a much darker screen. Now, I'm going to have to change my 135 in here. I'm going to leave one of these at 12 because we're still going to have 12s, 112. We're going to have them only available in 1 quarts. That's it. The 2 and 1 gallons will be obsoleted off the site. New one will be taken over, will be the Black Nova will be taken over. And that's the Black Nova and a Starfield demonstration. That's why when we were upgrading the 12, I wanted a much darker contrast level. I knew the screen could produce a much darker contrast level. And with that, we are going to have deeper reds and blues and all that other good stuff. Let's go into our search and let's dig up. Let's clear this out altogether. And we need to go into red screen. That's what we need to go into. That's what we need to do. Grab a red screen. So it's going to pick up a darker and more richer red. And we have to do the lights on, lights off, which I keep forgetting, which I have to do. You guys, right there. There we go. Steven. See how the reds are deeper and they produce better color. So switch over to blue. So yes, there is a difference between both black screens. Color fade out. Because the screen can produce a much darker black level, the colors are going to pop even higher. And now you're going to get more deeper and more richer colors. Lights on. All right, let's go to the screen's strong points. Let's go to its contrast levels. Do we even have the microphone hooked up? No, we do not. We can do, matter of fact, we'll just lights on and lights off. We'll do both and both. Let's go with the, there we go. Told you, picks up a much heavier contrast levels. The blues are going to be heavier. Everything on the screen is going to advance. Because I know I get people that are thinking like, oh, they're both the same screens. They're going to pick up, they're both the same contrast level. Black is black. No, it's not. See, that's the problem, that you have to understand the physics of black technology. There's a difference. There's a level in contrast. You can't just go to Home Depot and Lowe's and say, give me black paint. They're going to look at you and like, what shade do you want? I mean, even if you do, people say, oh, it has to have something to do with the shade. It has nothing to do with the shade. Because even if you do get a shade, then you're going to have to figure out how in the world you're going to get the white levels to pop off high enough where the screen's going to produce a high enough white level where your colors are going to come up vivid and bright and your contrast levels are not going to fade. So it's a back and forth thing. If your white levels are too high, then you have that issue. If your contrast levels are too high, then your white levels have that problem. And then that's not considering the fact, once you play back and forth with that freaking seesaw nightmare, then you got to figure out exactly how the colors are going to be affected, and then how the colors are going to be affected. You have to figure out how the ambient light's going to be affected. How is the projector going to perceive the image that you're actually projecting? How that's going to affect. So the projector is going to be affected by the ambient light. The ambient light may can affect the screen. All this is going to trigger off in the environment. That's just inside. Wait till you get outside. So yeah, it does show a difference, especially in contrast levels, because that's what these screens are designed for, heavy contrast levels. So yeah. No one's saying it can't be done. You can do it. It just takes a long time to do it. On my behalf, it's much, much easier because I said before, at the end of the day, my technology is designed by my Lord and Savior. So that's why we can develop this stuff so fast. This stuff was made within an hour. Let me see, let's go with something. We'll go with the Nubilan. So test the screen has to pass today will be the distance throw at 22 feet at 1,000 lumens with the 600 by 800 res projector. Weather should be good today, so we should be outside today. That's the final test that has to be passed. Ultra short those downstairs. Multiple certified screens are downstairs. And then we have low-end projectors, which we already covered that yesterday, but I need that for document. I need the actual say what that test is for. We did those yesterday. Let me see. There's some other tests that we got to run in there too. There's a bunch of them that have to run there, but all of them will have to be completed by today in order for it to get its label. And you can see it's maintaining its levels. Let's go with the LG. I'm going to go with the search out. I'm going to go with the, I need my whatchamacallit. That's what I need. Ugh, my back is killing me. I'm going to get a massager today, boy. My back is jacked up. That's the wrong way. All right, where's my camera? Really don't need to be looking for a camera right now. Except that my camera pretty much activates my sensors via talk, and I'm not seeing here at all. Great. Great. That's fantastic. Oh well, I'll figure out where I lost that one at next. This fumbling machines or something. Nothing there? Oh, I found my, yeah, I was looking for this. My sample sheet for my, acoustic screen samples. That's for testing against our screen. I found the camera, of course, fell behind the back into, a bunch of craziness on the back of my rack. We just need to plug it in so we can use voice on here, because I wanted to look at some contrast demonstrations side by side. I want to play nice. I'll fall outside again. Click onto that pool. All right, here we go. Now we get the camera attached in. Here we go, voice on it. All right, so now I got voice. Thank you. All right, let me give it LG Beta Fish. Not even close. Not even in the park. Not even close. Let's try that one again. LG Beta Fish demonstration. There we go. No, not even close. Not even in the park. Turn it back all the way to the beginning. You see that the difference, the screen produces a higher contrast level than the 12. The reason why this test demonstration has to be displayed, because we don't want people thinking that both screens are exactly the same when it comes to contrast levels, because that's what the 12s are designed for. If you are looking for a screen with higher white levels, then we have the ultralight gray and black silvers. That's what they're designed for. If you want a screen that's in between, then we have the Platinum Eclipse. That's a dark gray screen. They're designed for high contrast levels and white levels at the same time. And for those of you that are fixated on having contrast, which is me, I love contrast black screens, then this is what this technology is still up for. Let me see. New York City screensaver nighttime. As I said before, that the 12 does produce a, of course, it's common sense that 12 is going to produce a slightly higher white level due to the fact that it's a lighter, it's much lighter than this screen being virtually heavy, a heavy black screen. But as I said before, with the technology behind the black screen, they're not sought after for their ability to be to produce insane white levels. They're sought after for their contrast capabilities. That's what they're designed for. So if you're looking to get higher white levels, a black screen is not for you. They're designed for heavy contrast levels to make colors pop and explode. That's what they're designed for. Give you more richer colors and to give you the ability to give you a heavy contrast level. As I said before, that the contrast levels aren't going to be so dark that you're not going to be able to see the screen or make out the image or any of that at all, period. Go to, let's see, perfect example. 4K fish. I have to get cracking on these tests because I want to get all these tests done by today. All of them should be finished and completed by the day. And then after that, I have to start working on the labels and everything else for it to get it ready for launch. I even have right now some heavy requests on Facebook asking for 5 gallons of the technology. We're not doing 5 gallons. I'm sorry. Any orders that come over at $3,000, we're not doing them. I'm sorry. It's too big of an order. It's too big of an order. I'm not going to do anything that's on the outside of my means. I'm not going to do it. I'm sorry. Mainly my thing, anytime anyone's ordering $4,000 for paint, that's for a company. That's really for a company. I need to cater to my customers. See what I mean? It can maintain its levels. It's just that next to a black screen, the 12s, it produces a much heavier contrast level. And I told you that screen was jet black. I wasn't joking. That screen literally is jet black. It is so dark that basically where the 12 is sitting right now, that screen is actually matching the borders of the 12 that's wrapped around the fixed frame screen. I love the manatees and the stingrays. I can watch those all day long. This is why I wanted a wraparound curve in here. I wanted a wraparound curve. I wanted something that would connect from the door and wrap all the way around to here. And I could do that too, but I got to do it with the digital mapping. I already would have to do it with digital mapping. What I'm thinking about doing, well, I need to submerge it. I need something that's going to connect from the floor to the ceiling because the screen's not big enough to do a submerge. It has to literally connect from the floor to the ceiling. It has to wrap around. That's what I wanted. But, you know, that's what I'm trying to do some research on that projector mapping on how to project a movie. So if you can figure out, oh man, please come up with the technology to do so. You know, people don't understand. People ask for curved screens. Go look at the research on installing a curved screen. It is a freaking headache. It is a real freaking headache. Let's say you figured out something newer, but it's a headache. Got to have multiple projectors, and they have to be in sync. They have to get into what they call it, screen warping and edge blending. It's something else. It's very tedious to do it, but once you pull it off, it's beautiful. It's fantastic. But unfortunately, it'd be nice with the projector mapping if you could just take an image and just digitally map it into a curved screen. Do you have any idea how easy that is to do? That is really easy to do. But the only problem is you would have to have an entire movie file and to see exactly if the system will actually move that movie file to allow you to be able to project it or map it into that curved surface. Yet I haven't seen that yet. Haven't seen that capability yet, but it'd be really nice. Then you would only need one projector to do it. You would be able to watch that digital file mapped into that curve. So you'd be like, what the frig is he talking about? If you watched anything or I do digital mapping in here from time to time, you'll see like, oh, okay, that's what he's talking about. See, screens produce a much heavier blue. All right, well, I'm going to be jumping on my massager in the next room. That's what I bought it for, because right now I got lower back pain and I can feel it, and I'm not going to be any good at all today unless I jump on that machine for about, I'll be on it for another, I'm going 2 hours. I'm in 2 hours, I'm falling asleep on the machine. I'll be back up in a few to do the short throw demonstration. So we have the short throw demonstration that have to be done today, and a couple other demonstrations that have to be done. Done enough paint on demonstrations, so we're good with that. Yeah, the screen's really dark. That's when it's going outside today too. I got to mount the brackets onto the back of that screen so I can take that outside, mount that to the deck, and make sure I got everything. Yeah. If you see cat jumping stuff in my corners, it's because I'm eating. It's like, you watch cartoons? Yeah, I do watch cartoons all day on that screen, literally. All right, so this is what we got set up already. Projectors, John's sample sheets. Then we got our projectors set up over there and there for the testing. And then after that, we're going to be done. And we have to be outside for those tests right there. All right. Other than that, I'm going to start working on why I'm in my massage chair. I'm going to be working on my labels and designs and all stuff like that. It's going to pass with no problem. It's going to pass easily. So I'm going to start working on the labels and stuff, getting the specifications, with some of the specifications, what we have so far. It did pull up on 1,000 lumens, so we know we can use it with a projector of 1,000 lumens. We did 28, we did 38, we did 43. We did all that yesterday playing around with it. So we do know that for a fact. Ultra short, though, we didn't test yet, so that's what that's down here for. And yeah, that's basically about it. So I'll be back on later on today. I'm going to jump on my massager, design some labels, get some of the specification sheets worked on, and hopefully we have this ready before our ship out date comes up. As for the 12, well, the 2 quarts and 1 gallons are going to be removed off the website. The only ones we will leave up there for a short while will be the 1 quarts. They will last probably until we run out of whatever we have left on that, and after that, it's gone. All right. Thank you for your time. I have to go, and God bless.